Welcome students. So while I was making this video about Finland today, I thought it'd be good if I can take Ms. Veera from HAMK University to give her view about the situation and about the processing of the application and understanding what all you should do during this COVID-19 lockdown so that your application is not being delayed. Thank you, Veera, for coming and joining us for such a short notice. How are you
My
doing?
pleasure. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Here, from our side of things, everything is running pretty much as usual. Of course, we are all working from home and students are studying from home. But apart from that, everything all is well in here, and we're running the operations in all fields as per usual.
I
Luckily enough.
I'm sure about the students studying from home. I have no doubt because when I was in your university a few months back, I remember the student from Delhi. Students from Delhi was telling me how he was very happy to see your system where he was in the house. I'm talking about a normal day, not the COVID days,
Yeah.
and he could enter into the virtual classroom. And he was like, "It is so cool that I can ask the live questions." Okay, I have seen lot kind of live classes, but I'm sure if you have such kind of technology already in advance in your day-to-day business, I believe you should be very well prepared as the education system.
Exactly, absolutely. So for lucky for us that we have online courses, we have online teaching happening prior to all these complications. So it was very easy to a certain extent. Of course, we've had to work very hard on moving it, kind of taking everything from on class operations to online. But it's been an easy transition for us, and we're happy with how things are gone. So we had the infrastructure to do that because the students were already doing it, not to the extent that we have, of course, now.
Great. Veera, for my main concern of taking you on in was that students are having a lot of different type of confusions. I have decided to start a series of program with different countries. We had done in the previous series with Lithuania, with Latvia. Now we're taking Finland with you. Students have different kind of questions, which I'm looking at different social media, and specifically with like University of Applied Science as a HAMK. You must be having a lot of students coming from India and neighboring countries. I just want to understand a few things. The first question will be, what is going to be your deadline for September 2020?
So the deadline is going to be 17th of May. So still a month and a couple days to go. And it's a 3 p.m. finish time, just to be extremely specific. So you can send applications anytime until the 17th of May, 3 p.m. finish time.
What will happen if I will send you an application on 18th of May as a student?
It will not be processed. So we will inform that the application deadline is closed, and you can try next year.
So basically, if somebody has to come to because a lot of students have this confusion that because of COVID-19 lockdown, university is going to extend their application deadline. So student, you have to understand here very clearly, HAMK is giving you a very clear message about application deadline. If you apply beyond 17th of May, which is the deadline, 3 p.m. to be precise, you have to come for the next intake and not this intake, which means that you are fully operational in terms of assessing your applications. Am I right?
Absolutely. So only thing from our perspective has changed is the location where our employees are working. So the amount of support, the amount of people working on the applications is exactly the same as before. So from our applicants point of view, nothing has changed. So everything is running exactly how it was before.
Let's understand the admission process of a student, because normally students who are in lockdown in situation at the moment, at this point, they're thinking when the lockdown will open in India, probably it can be 1st of May. It's already, we can see it's already happening 1st of May. It may be 15th of May, maybe 1st of June. Nobody knows it, but we all know that Europe has been locked down till middle of May and end of the May. So keeping in mind, a lot of students are thinking when the India will open, we will go and do the application processing. Now, what do you recommend them to wait and let India open 1st of May and then make the application? Or do you suggest them to make the application now from their home itself?
I think just for many reasons, I would, if you're planning to study abroad, if you're planning to apply, do it now, do you don't need to wait for to see where the situation kind of develops in India or either in Finland or anywhere else in Europe. So from, like I said, we are pretty much fully operational in all aspects. So if you're planning, get your application, do it early. If you're taking part in an online examination, for example, don't leave it to the last one, because for example, if something happens, for example, your internet connection suddenly shuts down, or anything like that, you have a power cut and you can't take the exam, we can invite you to the next one. But then it's more difficult to do if you leave it to the last moment, because if it's a difficult to organize a new exam. So I would tell everyone who is planning to do to get it started, and apply as early as possible, because from our point of view, nothing really has changed. We have the same exams, we have the same deadline, and everything is like it was before. So and we don't anticipate many changes because of the coronavirus situation regardless. So everything is online from our point of view, so you don't need to wait to actually physically be able to go to the streets or go to the embassy and so on. So you can literally do the application process online. We have now kind of moved on to a world where everything everything happens online for
Absolutely.
many reasons. So I don't see a reason why you would have to wait. So personally, I would encourage everyone to do it as soon as possible.
Right. I believe students, you have listened to Ms. Veera from HAMK University of Applied Sciences, that what message she want to give to students who want to study for September 2020, because
Mhm.
time we have to use. Next week comes to, let's say, Veera, as a student, I have made the application. Now, let's say today is going to be 14th of April 2020. I make the application now for the next intake, coming intake. And what will happen next? Today, I complete my full application. I send the full package, what is the next step is going to happen. Students sometimes have to give the test, or they have online exam. How do you manage this exam, or how do you manage this test?
So what happens next when we actually receive the application? So assuming that there is the high school diploma or the transcript of records until that point, and then a copy of passport. So once we receive those, we send an acknowledgement saying that thank you, we have got all the attachments we need. And next thing is going to be an invitation to an online exam. And I know online exam might sound very scary, and you think as a final year student, oh, have I not taken enough exams already? But nothing to worry. Exam is very, if you are a decent student in high school, you are gonna have no problems passing the exam. It's not overly difficult at all. It is just to ensure that you have the basic level needed for whatever program that is that you're applying for.
Is,
Like I said, sure.
yeah, please carry
Yep, and the exam is online.
on.
So it consists of two parts. So you have the part that measures your English capabilities, both on written and kind of understanding. And then you have the kind of program specific questions, whether it is business, engineering, and so on. So this could be, this is the normal how the exam is constructed. So it is not overly difficult at all. I can promise that. And myself, for example, it's been quite some time since I finished my studies, and I think I could pass that quite easily. So it is not difficult at all. So I don't be put off by the fact that it's another exam on top of your very difficult final year, for sure.
Mhm.
So it is that's the next step. And what happens after the exam is an online interview. An interview is either done individually or in groups. So the business programs will have a group interview where you'll have a topic that you need to discuss. So very light topics, nothing overly difficult again. So what the purpose of the interview is to make sure that the student can understand English and is able to have conversation in English. So you don't need to know any difficult vocabulary, or we're not checking your pronunciation, for example. So it's very much, and it's also a point for the students to have, the applicants to have any questions, anything they want to ask, they can do that during the interview as well.
Great.
And that's it. And after that, about 2 weeks after the interview, we will send the results out.
Okay. So let's say if I apply today, if I send all my documents to HAMK today, We are
Mhm.
talking about good, and I think you are doing only exams, very specific dates. You don't have every month. You have specific date in a month when you do these exams, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So if I count this roughly from the date of the application till the date of my exam, then date of my interview, and then the date of my result, I'm talking about good 1.5 month.
Yeah, it depends, of course, when the next exam is going to be. But yeah, that's roughly the case. So
That is the case.
a month and a half, roughly. So it
So
would be from
in,
the application to decision.
in 1.5 month only, which will be 45 days from the date of the application. Let's take it 45 because on the safer side, keeping
Yeah.
that student has been a delay. Some delay came from the faculty side. Some delay. The entire environment is virtual, so we can't fit up the exact dates. So in 45 days, I have the admission letter, right? Which means, guys, students, please note this information. We are sitting today on 14th of April. Now, if 14th of April we are talking about, it's automatically 30th of May I have reached. So by 30th of May only, if I make the application today, 14th of April, I will be wrapping up my application by 30th of May, which means that on 1st of June, we all are keeping on a positive side, we all are thinking optimistic in a situation that 1st of June, everything opens up. Let's say Europe opens up, India opens up. This particular student will be able to make the tuition fee payment, let's say between 1st June to 15th of June. Let's give them this much of time also, for the make tuition fee payment. I believe only on 15th of June, student is kind of ready for visa application stage. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, absolutely. So, if of course we will see when everything opens. Hopefully, it is the 1st of June. Fingers crossed. And then you can get the residence permit, which is a visa. What we call it slightly different, but it's residence permit.
Okay.
You can get the process started as early as you can. So you can still submit applications now, but then won't be processed. So they will start the process, so you can actually fill in everything and get it started, but it won't be processed until they start the process again, which is hopefully beginning of June. So
So
we
Veera,
will see.
here exactly where I come with my very crucial point. Students who have done their work already, let's say from 14th onwards, by
Mhm.
1st of June, these students will be kind of ready with their paperwork, their admission letters, plus minus 15 days. By 15th of June, they must have, or 10th of June, they must have paid their tuition fee also.
Mhm.
So these students are going to be on the top priority list for you and as well, because they have made the tuition fee, they're fully ready to make the visa application. So will it be wrong if I say that they are the ones who can be able to reach the visa application stage and they are on the top priority in the queue as well? Can I say that, please?
Yes, that's my understanding. So my understanding as is that the kind of applications are processed as they come. So first come, first served basis. So if you put your application today versus the ones that wait until we are open again to process residence permit applications, my understanding is that those will be done in who has submitted it first.
Great. So student, basically, this whole conversation is about to explain you how much time it takes for the admission, entire your testing period, your Skype interview, your video interview, plus your document, your result coming after 2 weeks. Because as Ms. Vida said, that only after the Skype interview or the group discussion, it will take still 2 weeks. So we are
Yeah,
talking about good 45 days process to get your admission done, and then you will be needing minimum 10-15 days also, because normally students take such time. They have to then arrange the funds,
sure.
because some of the students haven't arranged the funds. So students, please note that if you even apply now, you can be managed by the June. You will be able to make your resident permit application. This means people who apply now. If you apply on 1st of May, of course, as Veera, they must have, you already said it, 17th of May is the deadline. So
Yeah.
even if I apply on 15th of May, of course the application will be accepted. But the
Yes.
counter of the time will start from 15th of May. We are talking about 15th May to 15th. By 30th of June, student will be finishing their visa admission application. By 15th of July, they will be sending their payments, again keeping in mind the 15 days. So students, you will be applying your visa in between 15th July to 1st of August, which is already getting late. You need more time. So we are applying visa on 1st of August. Do you highly recommend that? Do you think this is a good idea of doing the application?
Well, I think always when it comes to residence permit, the sooner the better. That is the kind of the golden rule. Do it as soon as you can, and if you don't leave it to the last moment. Of course, nothing will happen in terms of like if you have to, for example, for one reason or another, wait until the 1st of August, then of course you're free to do that. But that means that there is going to be a delay of your arrival.
And
And
we both have
with
seen
that,
that last year, 2019. We both know what happened for the students who have made the application late. They were so late, they literally have to, withdraw the application. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah, so we of course accept students to a certain point where they can still catch up with their studies. But say if you are 3 months delayed, you are already you have a lot of catching up to do. In some cases it's doable. So we, of course, with the coronavirus, we're offering more flexible options, and we're looking into doing that because we are aware that there will be delays no matter what. But hopefully the delays are not they are a week or two, three. So I would of course, for the students' point of view as well, to arrival to Finland, if you're coming late, it causes a lot of stress. It causes a lot of stress about the classes are already running, and so on. So it is always better to do that. But if there is a reason that you need to wait, you don't need to be discouraged for applying because of it. But if you do it as soon as you can, I think that is really the bottom line.
That's exactly.
Don't wait up.
Absolutely. I think this is exactly what I'm trying to send this message to all the students. Our team is also sending the same message, but some reason, students are not very, they're confused. They're like, it's kind of a lot of students are taking this as a sale pitch. They're expecting that,
Mhm.
as a consultant, let me be very honest, as a consultant, they're expecting that me pushing them up for the application because I want more and more application. In reality is that it's not about the sale pitch. It is about the reality that the entire admission visa processing takes 4 to 5 months. So the
Yeah.
quicker we start, and this is what message we want to give through our videos, through our this joint conversations, that the principles, the deadlines, the pushing I'm doing, it is actually required. And now when students have listened from you as well, I think they will take these things more seriously, because somewhere down the line we have seen in northern India part the students are a bit more slower than the southern India, because the application processing of South Indian students we have been doing since January onwards. So students,
Yeah.
we have discussed about that the delay is going to cost you your intake. So basically, if you want to apply as soon as possible, so that by the time COVID lockdown is over, visas are opening, you have your visa application, your resident permit application ready to be lodged, and not waiting for, furthermore, students who have got the admission, they will should actually start arranging. If you've already applied for HAMK, you should start arranging your funds, because the moment you get the admission, you should immediately pay the tuition fee and apply your resident permit application, because when the COVID lockdown will over, Veera, correct me if I'm wrong, there will be a huge queue. People will rush for the, their resident permit applications. And I think anybody who has well planned their application, they can make it.
Absolutely, and I completely understand what you're saying there in terms of like this is times that we have never seen before, and there's so much uncertainty. But what I would say is that this is temporary.
Absolutely.
This will pass, and I think we as in HAMK University, for example, we run very much as we did before, so very little has changed. And of course, don't let this kind of situation to set back your dreams and your aspirations to study abroad. Carry on as usual. And of course, it is very difficult to say when you're locked down in your house, but really make your future plans, because this is temporary. And get your things moving, get the residence permit, get your application, and all will be fine in the end.
Just to correct one thing, students can apply the resident permit application. The portal is open. It is just that it will be processed in the back end a bit later stage. Okay? This is exactly you
Exactly.
said. Great students.
Yes.
So Finland has this opportunity because a lot of countries in European Union, you have to go physically to the embassy and then only the visa process starts. At least this is a new thing, which I can add, that you can apply for your resident permits, make the application, get it into the queue, so that whenever the whole situation changes, you are on the top priority. Veera, thank you so much for joining with us. I have one last question before, I know the time is very short. You have discussed with me off this video, before the video, that HAMK is offering student three installment payment plan. Please, can you tell us about what is this the three installment payment plan?
Yes, so because we know this coronavirus is posing also a financial challenge to not just our countries, governments, businesses, and but also everyone around the world will be affected. So we're kind of offering a little bit flexibility for the first year of tuition. So it only applies for your first year. So you can pay in three installments. So one quarter when you accept your study place, then one quarter before the start of the second, we call them modules. So we have 4 modules a year. So that means you've done one quarter of your studies, you pay for the next quarter. And then before you start your next semester, which is starts in January, so you will make a payment in December for the half of the remaining. So you pay one quarter and a half.
Great.
So you
Thank you,
have this
Veera.
flexibility.
Thank you so much for giving all this information. I'm sure now students will take our words very seriously because they have heard you as well, and we have a common goal, I would say. Thank you for joining us, and keep us updated on the new updates coming up. And looking forward to see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Cheers.